on mute when I said Georgia, Duluth, South Carolina. I stood in school and pledged allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, but instead you created your own subtitles, scripted me lines in a language more foreign to me than Chinese is to you. 你听得懂我说的话吗? Ask me again where I'm from, because while you can't hear the words I say, I can hear you when you say, but no, where are you really from? I hear, but no, you can't really be from here. I hear, but no, you're too Asian to be American, too yellow, too chinky, too Oriental, too Chinese, too Asian, because we're all the same, right? Golden girls with almond eyes, ready for your consumption, a life prepared for submission. Do you know that a chink is not a gook, is not a zipper head? Do you know that I am not your fantasy just because you like my ethnicity? You tell me it's okay, I was born in the States. I'll still be your Madam Butterfly, Miss Saigon, Dragon Lady, Geisha Girl, Ching Chong, China Doll, but every time I hear you say yellow fever, I hear yellow peril. Let me tell you about Hooker Hill. Women traded for cigarettes in the back corner of a military base. Let me tell you about how it feels to be worth 2 smokes. But at least after you inhale a cigarette, it gets to disappear, evaporate into the night sky. At least after you inhale a cigarette, it gets to forget. Let me tell you about shack jobs. Let me tell you about Saigon's brothels. Let me tell you about the War Brides Act. Let me tell you about my history. My name is Yang Kailing. It means the feeling of joy, of overwhelming happiness in moments of victory. But when you think you have conquered my body, you are not victorious. You are a colonialist ready to repeat the history of the white man. You are an imperialist ready to use force to get whatever you want. But let me tell you about myself. I am not yours to take. I am not yours to fetishize. I am not yours to love. I am not yours. My name is Yang Kailing. And I am exhausted, not exotic. Dear Mom, dear Dad, 对不起. This is a conversation about guilt, about growing up in upper middle class suburbia where my problems are neatly lined up by white picket fences and boxes of Girl Scout cookies, crumbs trailing like the bullet shells riddled behind your histories, Tiananmen Square where you got shot, Nanjing where you got lost, Beijing where you fought. You measured out my life in centimeters, part by part a plan, a puzzle to make you feel complete, to piece together your own brokenness by perfectly packaging my Asian American life. Bow on top, hand delivered to the doorstep of my identity, I wore your gift like a cape. Drape my privilege around me like a superhero that only flies forward, eyes blinded, free falling into anything that isn't the past, never looking back, never realizing that the cape is a blanket I was never meant to fly. I was meant to lie down in this cocoon of security, reminders of warmth stitched together from your hardships 5 years old. I remember watching Lion King with you, trying to learn English in between songs, and just as Mufasa tells Simba, everything the light touches is our kingdom, you tell me, Mei Mei, this is your kingdom, America is for you. Dear Mom, dear Dad, 对不起. This is a conversation about shame, about listening to your Chinese through the cracks of my door, about listening to my Chinese fall through the cracks, about listening to your sighs through the cracks of your disappointment, about listening to my cries, voice cracking more than the language. Shame is sister to anger. They grew up together, sharing beds, sharing stories, sharing pain in the dark of the night. Shame is realizing that sometimes you want to be your sister. Shame is wanting to be angry because shame is too shameful, too quiet, too internal, and angry is loud. Heartbeat echoing harder in my ears than the sadness in your voice when you realize I am but a tourist in your culture. Pictures taken in snapshot moments of New Year, Niangao, and birthday noodles. Angry is the monster waiting in the closet, but shame is the monster hiding under the bed, too scared to show face, only haunting from the darkness, 15 years old. Grandma and Grandpa came to visit. You were preparing tea for everyone when you asked me to use chopsticks instead of a fork. Shame is sister to anger, but shame is also twin to disappointment. Shame is realizing that my American nightmare is breaking your American dream. Dear Mom, dear Dad, 谢谢你. This is a conversation lost in translation, but it is a conversation about growth. It is a conversation about your resilience and teaching me to strengthen mine. It is a conversation about my reconciliation and teaching you about me. Dear Mom, dear Dad, 谢谢你. This is a conversation about you, when for so long it was about me.